didn't say that, but we're not going to out him. We're not going to out him. Still ahead, how players are prepping for Saturday and how the zoo is turning one team's mascot against them.
And all night, we are looking back at 4 decades of journalism greatness. Jerry, people from all over Central Ohio wanted to wish you well as you head into retirement.
Jerry, congratulations on these many years of being the most iconic anchor person and newsman in this community. You've done so much for our community in so many ways. I'm proud of you, and welcome to the ranks of retirement.
Rev, what an exciting time, what an epic career, what a wonderful life that is only going to get better. But now's the time to celebrate all of your accomplishments and all of the lives you've impacted, including mine. I feel so fortunate to have been able to sit next to you for many, many years on the anchor desk and in that vintage Mustang convertible exploring the heart of Ohio. So, a toast, my friend, to what was and what's to come. And did I mention one of the benefits of retirement is you get to have one of these at dinner or lunch. I like it at breakfast. A little OJ poured in. Cheers, my friend.
Andrea in Santa Barbara, she's living the life.
Yes,
so a life without deadlines. So I understand that of her, and I'm looking forward to it.
Ready to cruise into that,
I am ready for that.
She looks great. Must be keeping her young. She looks fantastic. Well, you know, we heard earlier today that Ryan Day promised to win the rest of the season for Jerry.
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, so Dave?
Yeah,
what players have to say?
Okay, so obviously the players want to win this game for one reason and one reason only, and that is Jerry Revish. Now, on top of that, there is that whole stay undefeated and play for a national championship thing. That's in the back of their mind too, Jerry. Now think about this. No player on this Ohio State roster has ever lost to Michigan. No one. And really that fear is part of what drives this team. Urban Meyer admits he was terrified of losing to that team up north, and he put that feeling in these players. They do not want to come back to Columbus next week and be the team that lost to the Maize and Blue. So you better believe they'll be ready Saturday afternoon.
It's always in the back of your mind just how important it is for us and the state of Ohio and all our fans.
It's a different way of life. We know when this week comes up, we walk a little bit differently, we act a little bit differently, and we just know what's ahead of us.
This will be the 102nd straight year the Buckeyes and Wolverines get together, a streak almost as impressive as the 45 straight years Jerry Revish has worked at 10 TV. Those are 1 and 2 in the history books.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
All right, Dave, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, Buckeyes pride does spread beyond the shoe, even beyond the alumni.
That's right. The competition can even get a little wild. Wild animals, that is. No M's could be found at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. The keepers even got these Wolverines to turn on that team up north. And while we think it's a rivalry for these animals, it is enrichment.
Just a lot of football-themed stuff, and it just kind of makes them, you know, rip into it, makes them think, you know, what's in there, how do I get to it? You know, naturally they do forage for stuff, and they'll cache stuff, and they'll hide it.
Keep working at it there. The animal care team says that the Wolverines at the Columbus Zoo are beloved and are important ambassadors for the species whose populations have been declining.
He's really working that little that letter. Well, Jerry, speaking of the zoo, someone there may want to take your job.
What?
Wow, I hear there's going to be an opening here. This seat feels pretty good to me. Maybe I'll give it a try. Congratulations, Jerry, on your 40 years at 10 TV. Happy retirement. I'll be at the zoo for 40 years, too. Next year, my 41 year. I think I'm spending my last year right here. I'm going to bring like squirrels on every night, fish, you know, in a tank. Can you imagine that? Snakes, big old snakes that go along through here. You can come back and help me if you want to. You don't want to? Oh, well.
Perfect timing, Jack Hanna. I'm telling you, he is hilarious.
It seemed like a good idea until he started talking about squirrels and everything up here.
The snakes, I'm not good with that either.
No. I like when Susie comes at noon and brings like the cute cuddly ones.
Right.
But the snakes and
Nope. No.
Although you'll have plenty of time to go to the zoo and check out whatever animals you want.
Right, yes.
That's right. Yeah. Let's talk about the forecast and what we're tracking because we have two powerful systems. So maybe you want to check out wild lights tonight. Around central Ohio, still a little windy, about 10 to 15 miles per hour in the northwest, but 43 degrees will be the afternoon high on Thursday. Your Buckeye forecast over the Big House in Ann Arbor, Saturday noon kickoff. Tailgating will be in the 30s, and you could see some snowflakes mixing in with some rain. That same condition could linger for kickoff, but it'll be occasional. 36 degrees at kickoff at noon. By the time we have the final score, only about a degree warmer than that, 37. And if we have any kind of precipitation, at that point, it will likely just be rain showers. So your full forecast shows that as we dip in the 40s to round out the week, we do rebound to about 50 degrees here this weekend with rain in the forecast and then plateauing in the low to mid 40s for next week. And I've been saying Jerry's just going to be relaxing at home while the rest of us are dealing with the cooler weather. So you can't complain about the cold anymore because you could just stay home.
Or I could just look at it.
Yeah.
And not have to go out in it.
That's right.
Really nice.
Thanks a lot for that.
Well, we know you are looking forward to that. We are also looking ahead to the 6 o'clock newscast. Yolanda's here to tell us what's ahead.
All right, guys, buckle up because it is time to head home for the holidays. Coming up next at 6, the travel frenzy at John Glenn Columbus International Airport and the busiest time to hit the road. And OH! Oh! Thanks, guys. We're getting ready for the game, the special pep brought to the fans. And the Landmark on Lane Avenue gets ready to close its doors. The memories of Conrad's and more. We'll see you at 6.
It's the destiny of a Jedi.
Secrets from Star Wars, the quick save that kept this movie under wraps.
It's time to help the Salvation Army share the holiday spirit with the Big 10 TV Toy Drive.
We know you've got a big heart along with that big appetite.
So drop off a toy at one of the collection bins at City Barbecue restaurants, chiller locations, or Safe Harbor Retirement Group.
You can also bring a toy to the 10 TV Toy Parade outside the station December 6th.
Bring cheer to children in this special time of year.
The Big 10 TV Toy Drive, because every child deserves
a happy holiday.
From Central Ohio's news leader, this is 10 TV News at 6.
Tonight at 6 for some travelers, it's time to catch a plane. Today's the busiest travel day at John Glenn Columbus International. Travelers are lining up at security gates and find their seats on the plane, hoping to arrive on time for Thanksgiving. And thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Jerry Revish.
And I'm Yolanda Harris. Depending on where you're going, your travel plans could get a little tricky, but don't worry, we've got you covered. Ashley Barrissey is tracking any kind of storms or windy weather that could impact your drive or your flight. And speaking of flights, we're going to start with Sierra Johnson. She's out at the airport. And Sierra, how busy is it right now out there at John Glenn Columbus International?
Good evening. With Thanksgiving quickly approaching, it really seems to be business as usual the day before Thanksgiving Eve.
And now at 6, what's the Thanksgiving holiday without some football? Right now, we're not talking about the pros, but the rivalry on Saturday. Before the teams break for the holiday, head coach Ryan Day talked about the game against that team up north.
And the Buckeyes are the favorite for Saturday. Not by a large margin, though.
Well, I mean,
9
points. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a touchdown.
As long as it's a win, yeah.
Yeah, just win, baby. Just win. You know, the second-ranked Ohio State football team favored by 9 points over 13th-ranked Michigan. Two clubs will meet this Saturday, high noon in the Big House. Now, the Buckeyes, as mentioned, 9 points over those Wolverines. That's pretty good, huh? But we all know in games like this, they're not played on paper. They're played on the field. And we know in this series, and we've seen it in the past, the best team doesn't always win. You can bet losing the last 7 games, Michigan will be a desperate club to get a victory. Ryan Day with big-time respect for the Wolverines.
They have the ability to be as good as anybody in the country, you know, when they're playing well. And so I think they're playing their best football now. And certainly we're going to get their best shot on Saturday.
You know, of course, the old saying goes, when it comes to this game, you can throw the records out the window. You know, they say that because, once again, the better team doesn't always win. With that said, Ohio State is clearly the better team, and I expect them to win big, hopefully a big-time win, guys. So There you have it. Let's play the game. You know, in Ohio, we don't particularly care for that team up north.
Not particularly.
Urban Meyer said it in that interview that they have great respect for him, but there's also hatred.
On the field.
Hatred.
Yeah.
Well, hatred was the word he used. You can watch that interview because, you know, it's on 10tv.com.
All right.
Okay.
Look for it.
Thank
How
you,
you
Dom.
doing, Jer?
I'm doing good, Dom. I'm doing good. It's a wonderful moment here with you all.
Yes.
And I've got my family here, and we're going to talk with them in a little bit, so
yes.
It's a good night.
You know, you can change your mind.
I can, but I'm not.
I just wanted to tell you, you could if you want, you know.
All right, well, okay, speaking of the big game, pep rally. Let's talk about that, bringing the pep rally to the fans. Today was the annual Beat Michigan rally at the Dodd Rehabilitation Hospital at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. OSU's alumni band helped patients and their families get excited about the big game.
To see the looks on their faces and to see them sing maybe Carmen, Ohio, or a few words, it shows you why you do what you do.
OSU's first female drum major and the alumni band helped lead patients around the gym for their very own Script, Ohio.
Oh, that is so good. These demolition crews were hard at work today at the Mount Carmel Franklinton campus. You'll see demolition activity through mid to late 2020 now. Inpatient services have moved to Mount Carmel Grove City. Although you're seeing those demolition crews, Mount Carmel West will maintain some services. Meantime, a tragic ending. Next at 6, the 50 years of memories for Conrads.
And tonight, of course, is Jerry's last newscast on this 10 TV anchor desk. We aren't the only ones saying goodbye, though.
Jerry, hi, it's Dana in front of the CBS Broadcast Center on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Jerry, congratulations on your retirement. I am so very happy for you. I've always been in awe of you. You're an excellent journalist, a class human being, a role model to so many of us of so many ages. And I will also say you've set the bar high, and a lot of African Americans, young ones, looking up to you will be better in their lives because of the things that you have done with yours. All the best, Jerry. To you and your family, love you.
Tomorrow on 10 this morning, we are less than a day now from Thanksgiving, a special time to spend with your family. But for some, it can be a painful reminder of who is not there to celebrate. I'm Angela Ann.
And I'm Pete Scalia. As you come together with your friends and family for the holidays, we'll show you some things to keep in mind for those who may have lost a loved one.
It's all tomorrow on 10 this morning, starting at 4:25.
It is the end of a long era for the oldest Buckeye store in Ohio.
After 50 years, Conrad's College Gifts on Lane Avenue is closing. 10 TV's Kevin Landers takes us inside for a final time.
Here's when my parents were honored on the field.
Her parents, Jack and Violet Cohen, lived the American dream.
My parents came from nothing.
After owning a small jewelry store in Zanesville,
it was an apartment building.
Her father bought this small store on Lane Avenue.
It was Conrad's Jewelry and Gifts on the main floor, and then my brothers and sister lived above the store.
The year was 1969.
My mom brought up the idea, let's bring in some Ohio State stuff. And so it was the first thing that came in was glassware, and it sold right away.
The business started to grow.
This is one of the pictures when they were putting up the storefront.
Thanks in large part to wins on the football field.
My parents donated $100,000 to the athletic department to give back to them because of this wonderful business we had.
A business where her dad and Woody Hayes often chatted.
And at the time, we had 2 leather Ohio State chairs on our sales floor, and Woody would sit in those chairs with my dad. And they would talk about business and talk about, you know, my dad wanted to talk about football with him, and he didn't want to talk about football. He just wanted to talk about the good old days.
You may be wondering by now why the store is called Conrad's when the family's last name is Cohen. Well, Mr. Cohen at the time thought Conrad Hilton was a very popular businessman and figured if he named his store Conrad's, it would bring him good luck.
Because when I'm in the store, I feel closer to my parents.
Jack Cohen passed away 7 years ago at the age of 88. His wife died 2 years ago. The family says it's time to say goodbye to the store. She says it's not easy saying goodbye after 50 years.
I did think it would last this long. I didn't think that it would end.
Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Now, Conrad's isn't completely leaving. They have a new store at Easton, and the store on Lane Avenue will close December 31st. There you go.
There it is. Ashley, what's the weather going to look like this weekend and, well, closer to Thanksgiving?
Well, tomorrow will be very windy. We have rain coming in tonight, and then it gets a little cooler for Thanksgiving and, of course, you know, the shopping on Friday and going into the weekend. So we want to make sure everyone's prepared, especially the folks that are traveling. So looking at the last 3 hours for next week, maybe seeing a little wintry mix creeping back in the forecast next Wednesday.
Okay, so we got some wind.
Yes.
And then we got some rawness.
Yeah, we have it all.
And then the game.
Wintry mix.
That's right.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Ashley. All right, we'll be right back after the break. But first, another person wanting to say goodbye to Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, Nora O'Donnell here, and I want to take a moment and congratulate you on your incredible career in journalism. Your contributions over the decades have made Central Ohio smarter, more informed, more thoughtful about its neighbors and the community. Thank you for all of your dedication, your commitment, and your hard work over the years. Hope you have a wonderful retirement, and I hope you know how much everyone is going to miss you.
You're watching WBNS-10 TV, Central Ohio's news leader.
Well, this is my last newscast at 10 TV, and I cannot begin to tell you how blessed I feel to have worked here all of these years. WBNS-TV is the best local television station in the country. I'd like to thank the Wolf family for setting the bar on excellence high here. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with some of the best in the business. I've also been blessed with a wonderfully supportive family that's been with me along the way for the ride, and I'd like to introduce them to you if I might. Hi, Ashton. How you doing, baby? You good? Okay. You good? Okay, that's so wonderful. Of course, this is my wife, Danielle, and our firstborn, Nicole, Ashton, and Dad, Eugene, Nikki's husband, Samuel, our first grandson. He's turning 14 in December, right? My son, Jay, his bride, Stephanie, and their 2 children, Madison and Sydney. How y'all doing? So glad to see you. This is my crew. Sweetheart, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what's this ride like been for you? What's going through your mind and has gone through your mind today?
You know, when we were here earlier and Channel 10 had given you such a wonderful tribute, it was a phenomenal time because I thought about the energy that you put into each day when you get up. First thing on your mind is Channel 10. But I remember when we were engaged, and we were engaged for a year, and 3 months before we got married, you said I got a job at WBNS Radio. And the rest is history. You deserve all of every tribute that you've been getting and all of the respect, and I'm just so proud of you. But I keep hearing people say that it's bittersweet. It's not bittersweet for me because I want you home every day. You're going to be home, and it's exciting.
My daughter, my firstborn, talk to me about what's going through your mind today.
I'm just really excited for the legacy that you are leaving here at Channel 10. Everybody has some big shoes to fill, and you've been incredible the whole entire ride, and it's been wonderful being along for that ride from his age to where I am now, so I'm so proud of you.
We're proud of you, too. My son.
Dad.
How you doing, son? You doing all right tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Talk to me. How do you feeling? What's on your mind tonight?
I'm excited for you. You know, I was telling someone earlier today, most folks hear about legends, role models, and heroes on the movies. I had an opportunity to wake up every day and see one. So I thank you for being a legend for the city, a role model for me, and a hero. And I'm glad that the hero gets to enjoy his next chapter.
That's my son. As you were coming up, what did you think about all of this stuff?
Wow, it was amazing. You know, as a child to see your father on television every day, and that's pretty daunting. And it was cool. And then it was, you know, every single day, are you Jerry's kid? Are you Jerry's kid? Are you Jerry's kid? But no other kid I'd rather be.
I appreciate that. Stephanie, talk to me, sweetheart. You're in our life, and you came into our family. How many years you guys been married? 10 now?
We're rounding on 12.
12, okay.
Soon.
Okay, wonderful.
Just checking my math.
So talk to me about being part of the family and part of all of this.
Well, I think I've shared with you before. I know I haven't been part of the family for long, but just to see you and the impact that you have on your family as a father and a husband has been a blessing to me. And so to see you in that capacity is really great. And this is just icing on the cake.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that. And Eugene, talk to me about coming into the family.
Well, I can't put into words how proud I am of you. I've watched you long before I came into the family. You are such a standard bearer for the city, such a standard bearer for men, such a role model for all of us to emulate. It is good knowing you. It is good to be modeled after you. There are some tough shoes to fill in this city. I don't think they will ever be filled. But I'm so proud to be a part of the family, so proud to have the love, the honor that you give.
Ashton is like 2 years old, and so he's very, very, very talkative. Very, very talkative. You know, might have a budding broadcaster in here. Samuel is going to be 14 years old. Talk to me about Baba. Go ahead.
Well, it was cool seeing my granddad on TV.
Okay.
And you know, I used to brag a lot in like school and stuff.
Thank you.
So I just like, I'm still in shock that you're on TV.
Oh, you're still in shock? Well, thank you, Ashton. You know, there's a lot of personal sacrifice that comes with this kind of work, long hours, unrelenting deadlines, the absolute necessity to get the facts right, even when the facts are few. But that's what we signed up for. I still think of journalism as a noble profession. Paraphrasing Thomas Jefferson, a well-informed public is the best defense against tyranny. And as far as my future is concerned, I'll continue to live in Columbus. It's my home, and I've got that other hat I wear, founder and senior pastor at Unity Temple Church in South Columbus. It's work that I call the ultimate community service, and I'll keep busy with that. I want to get over here to my colleagues here and spend a moment with them. All of these folks you see are part of the 10 TV family, and you've been so special to me every single day. They show up and do great, incredible work. And so I am so thankful for 10 TV for giving me this opportunity for all these many years to do what I do. And I know it is not time to go to bed, but I want you to know that when you finally get there, I want you to have a good night and sweet dreams.
And a toast to Jerry! Cheers! To Jerry! Cheers, Jerry!
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.